Peace, blessings, and wholeness, family. I'm chilling in my place of living, and I have aligned a new property to farm on. I'm very excited to announce that, and I'm very thankful and grateful to all the people who reached out for the land share exchange program. The property is going to be located in Cold Springs, Nevada. I used to say it Nevada. People told me to say it Nevada, but I feel like I say it with like a weird little East Coast accent, like New York, Connecticut, Vermont, Nevada. So yeah, Cold Springs, Nevada, and it's literally, I'm gonna just drop it right now. This site needs some work. Nutrients needs to be brought in. I've already aligned a dump of wood chips tomorrow, and I'm gonna do an update video from the farm site tomorrow. So stay tuned for all of that, and you get the vision for how it is going to become completed. But it's pretty cool. Last year on October 4th, I aligned with the new property of last year, and on that same day I collected black walnuts, and it was the same day, which was yesterday, that I aligned the property here in Nevada. I collected California black walnuts, so that was pretty cool that each year that I aligned with a new property, I was collecting walnuts. So along with collecting black walnuts, I've been collecting apples. I have 3 different varieties of oak or acorns, and then I have all of my garlic, about 30 pounds. I still need to buy in 30 pounds to get me to my mark of where I wanted to be at the end of 2024, which was 72 pounds. And that 72 pounds is gonna turn into 200 pounds next season. And then the 200 turns into 500 to 600. And at that point, I could start selling a little bit. So 2026, yeah, so we'll talk about that when we get there. But I'm really excited about the 2 varieties that I'm going to buy in. One is called Kingsland, and one is Sicilian or Ichalum Red. They're 2 soft neck varieties, and they put out like 70 to 100 plants per pound, and I'm gonna get 5 pounds of each. So that'll get my numbers up to where I needed to be for the end of this season and moving forward. Something that I'm going to talk about more tomorrow in the video when we're on the actual site is that I am going to do an initial tillage of this site, and I've been doing a lot of research on that. This is still going to be a no-till farm, but when you're starting with a site that virtually has not a lot of good organic matter, not a lot of good nutrients that the crops are going to need to grow well, there's not too, and it's very compacted, desert soil, clay, super duper compacted, and there used to be trucks driving over this square. So if you try to just plant directly into that without tilling it, it's not gonna work. So ideally, it would be best to do a soil test and figure out what nutrients that I'm deficient in, but it's best to do a soil test in the spring. So my idea is to get an initial till, throw down cover crop seed, and make the beds and the pathways. And then in the springtime, I can do a soil test analysis and see what nutrients that I'm deficient in. and put those in for the fall back half, or maybe right there in the spring. But ideally, you would want to take the soil test before you do the initial till. That way, when you do the initial till, you can spread in all the amendments that you're deficient in, and then till them into the soil and make your beds. So that's where I'm at with all that. It's only like $70 for the day to rent the tiller, and definitely can't be that much gas, and it goes down like 10 inches. Now, as I've always preached, I know that the highest concentration of soil life is within the first 2 inches of soil, and along with that, in the first 2 inches of soil is the main weed seed bank is also in the first 2 inches. So not only are you destroying whatever soil web was left, the mycelial network and all of the microbes, but you're also bringing up whatever dormant weed seeds would have been there. So ideally, you would want to tarp it for 6 weeks or as long as you can in the summer, but I don't have a tarp, and I really don't like the idea of using the silage. I know they say that they're UV treated and they can last for many years, which is true, but we don't know about the leaching of those tarps yet, and I think we're going to find out in some years about the potential leakage of irrigation pipes and silage tarps, so on and so forth. So I need to lay my mulches thick enough this time. On my previous plot back in Vermont, where I had started my first 1/8 of an acre plot, I didn't lay the mulches thick enough, and although it smothered out the late season grasses or winter grasses, but the summer grasses were able to prevail, and they just shot back up like 5 feet through the mulch, and that's because it wasn't laid thick enough. So you gotta lay your mulch at least 8 inches thick if you don't want weeds to penetrate through. So I'm gonna have to sow a lot of legumes to fixate nitrogen out of the air to get my nitrogen to carbon ratio good, because there's not a lot of access to green manures out here. So you either have to grow your own via cover crops, or you need to sow legumes to get your nitrogen. So I think, and I wanted to just show the walnuts and the acorns and my little fig tree and yarrow that I'm gonna bring up to the farm. I've been slowly collecting over the past few weeks. So this is the Yi fig. Started in Long Island and was brought up to Vermont, and then I brought it from Vermont across the country to California. It rested in California for a few months, and now it's down here in Nevada. And now I have this drought tolerant, it's a Colorado yarrow. And you can see all of this on the outer layer died back because it was getting readapted, but then all this new growth shot through. And I really haven't watered this a lot. I've kind of actually neglected this, and just to prove how drought hardy it is, it literally died back, and then now new green growth is shooting through. So that's pretty cool. Perennial. We'll add this to the new farm. See right there, drought tolerant, and it's pink. I believe it's Colorado yarrow. I had regular white yarrow that was native to Vermont. And then California black walnuts. There's still another flush to happen. Honestly, I shook the tree a little bit because it seemed like they were ready, but there's not a lot of wind around here or rain, so it takes a while for them to fall off. If they weren't fully ripened yet, they'll ripen up off the tree, and then because it's just going to be too much to harvest all of them at once. So I like to get it in intervals or stages. So we'll go back in a few weeks and get the rest. Probably fill up the 5-gallon bucket. And here we've got peach seeds from California, and then these were like local peach seeds from a tree in Nevada. You can see these ones are actually a lot bigger. And there was some like cherry plums and apricot seeds in here. So we'll try and plant those with the garlic. And then we got some acorns. This is one of the varieties. And then I have 2 other varieties in the crib. And then we got all the garlic, all separated, 17 different varieties. And then we have the apples. So, been slowly collecting, doing my work here and there, and it's all paid off. So, I'm excited to start the next stages of this journey in growing food for myself, my family, and the new community. Peace, blessings, and wholeness. This is Farmer John NV coming to you from the new Sunshine Farm. I'm excited to share the progress as it progresses. So we'll see you soon. Thank you. Here's those other acorns I got. This is like a mini variety, mini acorn. And this is, I think this is the same as the first one I showed you. Yes, it is. And then this is like a nice bigger one. I think this is like a hybrid. I've never seen these before. Pin oak, I'm pretty sure. So one love wholeness. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.